It's a murder mystery that has dragged on for more than a year and a half. It involves what might be Fowler's only homicide in history and the gruesome discovery of a man's body in Chicago. Finally tonight, we bring you some answers. News 18's Dan Klein spoke with the Fowler police chief on the record for the first time since 2014. And Dan, what was the motive?
Well, you mentioned there are a lot of answers that I can provide, but the motive is the big question that we still don't know. Why did Teresa Jarding shoot her mother, Nina Metoyer? Investigators say that Jarding lied about a number of things in her life, including her marriage and her profession. Police say she even texted a dead man's family and friends to make them believe he was still alive. A house you wouldn't expect has a story to tell at 5th and Jackson and Fowler, in view of the police station 2 blocks from the county jail and courthouse, the site of Fowler's only homicide.
I've been doing law enforcement 41 years now, and it's one of the most bizarre cases I've been involved in.
It started in September 2014. The sister of a Chicago man, Milan Lekic, tracked Teresa Jarding here on the 20th. Jarding and Lekic had been married in Nevada 18 months earlier, in March 2013. But Jarding refused to come to the door, and when the sister finally confronted Jarding when she came outside to walk the dog, Jarding hurriedly went inside and steadfastly refused to come to the door over the next few days, even when Fowler police officers knocked. Several days later, on the 24th, Jarding's family contacted police, saying they couldn't reach Jarding or Jarding's mother, Nina Metoyer, who was visiting from Florida. When Jarding's family drove down from Chicago, she still wouldn't answer the door. When they brought police, they could tell she was in distress. Her son broke in through a basement window to get inside. At first, with the handgun next to her, they thought she had been shot. But overnight, doctors discovered there was no gunshot wound. Instead, she had a brain aneurysm. The coroner later ruled Jarding's death a suicide due to a lethal amount of morphine and butalbital in her body. Jarding's boyfriend eventually came forward to police, saying she cut off communication with him on the 20th, the same day Lekic's sister came to Fowler. He was living in Lafayette. The two had met online. She had told him she was a retired psychologist who owned some rental properties and had also claimed to have cancer. Police now believe those were all lies. But when he told them that Jarding had said her mother had died in Chicago and she was going to have to fly her body to Florida, that's when they knew the ongoing missing persons case was likely a homicide. Jarding's family found Metoyer's body almost 3 weeks later, on October 11th. They had been going through the house and moved a large trash can from the laundry room area outside. Metoyer's body, dressed in a nightgown and wrapped in bedclothes, was under a mound of trash and debris, likely shot in the head while she slept. As for how police missed it when they were inside weeks earlier, Chief Dennis Rice said the home was dirty and smelled bad, in part because of trash and animal feces.
One of the rooms that we had not gotten to that night, other than a cursory search, we had, because we thought we didn't have a crime, so we didn't move to that, go through the house piece by piece.
Lekic's body had been found in Chicago several days earlier. No one knows how long he had been dead. Jarding moved to Fowler in 2013. Police believe she sent texts to his family and friends like he was alive until 2014, when those messages stopped coming. Officers recovered his phone in her home. Because of Lekic's advanced decomposition, Rice can only say that the man's DNA on the chainsaw which dismembered his body matched the DNA on the handgun in Fowler. All signs point to that handgun shooting both Lekic and Metoyer.
Because of the small caliber and the deformity of the bullets, they couldn't specifically say it was that gun. But it was the same make, model, fired from the same make, model, and caliber as the handgun we recovered here.
Rice believes Jarding embezzled money from Lekic and possibly others.
I think a lot of her lies has finally caught up with her, and especially the one involving Milan Lekic.
While Jarding had been married 3 times, including to another man as she married Lekic, Rice said he investigated each of 11 names she used over her life, including 6 different last names. And though she paid for her Fowler home, he didn't find any large bank accounts of any kind. While he thinks she may have had mental health issues, 19 months later, he still doesn't know why she would kill her own mother.
There's probably only one person that knows that reason, and that person's no longer alive, so we'd probably never know.
Well, Chief Rice says Nina Metoyer would visit her daughter semi-regularly for several weeks at a time from her home in Dunedin, Florida. The last time had been in the spring.
And have they ever been able to figure out when Matoyer was killed?
They have not. They tried several different methods, but because of the conditions of the home, they couldn't narrow that window. They believe she could have been alive as late as September 20th, the day that Lekich's sister came to Fowler.
What a strange case. Okay, thanks, Dan, for that interesting update. Well,